Make sure you guys use hashtag NFL to have your questions featured on air, just like Colbys Sports and Gaming did. So who will Broncos get at 10 in first round?
Could have rolled with the original one there and just paraphrase like I do.
Probably could have.
For Denver, I'm very curious to see who's on the board.
Okay.
This is Devin White's floor. If Devin White is there, I think Denver hustles to that podium and says, boom, Devin White, we've got our now premier linebacker.
Von Miller posted a picture with him, Chubb, and said, look at this trio. I don't blame him.
That's fair. And then I think beyond that, if it's not Devin White, I think they would consider an Ed Oliver type here. But I still think that Drew Lock makes a lot of sense for them.
Oh, boy.
I think this is the right range for Lock, and in the end, I don't think they're going to try and pass on a quarterback. I know they have Joe Flacco, but if they have a guy that they like,
they have Joe Flacco.
It still makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard a lot of rumors about Elway wanting to get a quarterback, and there's been the rumors that he's been interested in Drew Lock. But for me, I just don't see Drew Lock being the future, and I'm definitely not going to trust John Elway in terms of getting a quarterback. All right, let's go to a ninja here, a.k.a. Ninja. I understand you're a ninja. We'll get a picture. Seahawks going to sign Russ or let him go or trade him?
It's going to sing Russ, by the way, like BJ.
You're just in golf mode. Speaking of golf podcast.
Masters can't wait for the Masters, baby. Cannot wait. If Seattle's smart, they just pay him. Like, you pay your franchise quarterback to let him be your focal point, and you ball out with one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, even though the sticker shock's going to be real. But I keep wondering if we're going to see a team that finally decides, you know what? Let's go find the market inequality. Let's not overpay for a quarterback. Okay. Let's go cheap there and invest our money elsewhere. And I think Seattle is just crazy enough to try it. And I kind of want to see if it works out. Now, I wouldn't do it with Wilson. This is not the template I would use. I would not pass on Wilson. In the end, I think they sign him, but I'm not going to rule out a trade here. I wouldn't be stunned if it happened. There's just enough sense behind it.
I just put in the comments section, so everybody who's watching here on YouTube, I want you to type P if you would pay Russell Wilson.
Can't say P.
I love Russell Wilson. I think he is no doubt, when you look at MVPs in the NFL, you could argue that he's the most valuable player to his team. And without him, man, I don't even want to know where the Seahawks team is going to go. The next question I'm going to bring up here is from Godz of 300. If you like 300, hoorah. Do the Jets trade the 3rd pick? People are talking.
I think they really want to. I think if the Jets had their way, they'd move down from 3 to even like 10 or 11 or 12 or somewhere in that range, or even ideally with the Redskins, and they acquire future draft capital. And they say we got our 2nd round pick back, and they find extra pieces because they want to move down from there. They'd be fine with Josh Allen or Quinnen, but if they could move down and still get a 1st round player at number 15 and a bunch of future picks, I'm just on a random number there, by the way, like as far as they'd be willing to drop, that makes sense for them. But I don't know if they actually will do it. I don't think we see a top 4 trade. I don't think we do. But 3 and 4 and 5 are going to try like hell to actually do so.
Fair enough. This one's coming in from Asian Eyes 101. Bosa to 49ers, basically a lock.
If he's there, yeah. I think that is a lock pick. Now, we've seen really weird things happen in the NFL draft, but even with the addition of Nick Ford, Bosa makes so much sense for the 49ers as that number 2 edge guy.
All right, Steve Young here, I'm guessing, is
Steve Y.
Steve Y, but it's Steve Young. Come on,
D Ford or whoever I said earlier.
Wow. Elway running Broncos into the ground. Lots of suspect moves. Do I think he's running them into the ground? No.
But quarterback is the most important position. And I don't think he's done a great job.
No, but he's done a pretty good job, I think, everywhere else.
But exactly. Everywhere else, I think he's done a good job of building a roster. But if your quarterback's bad, you're going to have a tough time winning in the NFL.
Especially when you used to be a quarterback yourself, Steve. Good question. Alec Garcia, get a pick. What about Greedy Williams if he's available at 10 for the Broncos?
I think that's kind of the upper echelon of Greedy's ceiling this year. That and I think the Detroit Lions. I'd be a little bit surprised. I wouldn't rule it out by any means, but that is not the route I think Denver will go, in large part because they signed Bryce Callahan. They still have Chris Harris Jr. They also signed Kareem Jackson and to replace Brother Irving. Now, granted, Jackson's on a 1-year deal, But if Greedy's on the board, I would assume that means that other players like maybe a Devin White, maybe Drew Lock are also there. So Greedy's an option, but he's more of a dark horse.
I'm looking down at the comments section. My girl Haley, she says just 19 days left till the NFL draft. And guess what? We're going to be live for the entire draft. Make sure you guys subscribe at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Is it 17?
17.
Math's hard. Regardless, we're going to be live for the entire NFL draft. Make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Tell your friends, spread the word.
Little secret, last year we had the picks before ESPN and NFL Network. I assume the same will happen this year.
Make sure you guys grab a drink too, because we'll be drinking the entire show. All right, this next one's coming in from Tom better shave his head or my life is a lie.
No, I haven't told Mary Kate.
Wow.
I haven't told Mary Kate about this yet.
This is an amazing name. All right, who is a sleeper in the first round, and who do you think will take him?
Okay.
Who's your pet cat?
That's different, but because you still don't know what a pet dog is. Oh, my dog's name is Finn. In terms of sleepers, let me see if I can pick one that actually have a player card here for. Okay, one you guys have heard of. How about Chase WINOVICH?
Okay.
Because you get outside the top tier edge rushers, and you move down into the Jalen Ferguson, Christian Miller, Chase WINOVICH range. Those are all round 2 guys. But after Furl's off the board, there's a big drop-off, but teams drafting at that end of the round 1 range. The Chiefs, for example, even Pittsburgh, the Raiders, the Colts even, the Patriots still all need edge help. That could be a sleeper for the end of round 1. We don't have a player card for him, but I'll throw out a guy like Justin Lane. I would not be surprised if one of these long and lanky and fast corners sneaks into round 1, even over a guy like a DeAndre Baker, even though I think Baker's a way better prospect.
So would you say Chase WINOVICH is somebody that you can bank on?
Yes, sure.
It's also a bank joke. All right,
Chase,
Penguins 622. What player do you think will break out in the 2019 season?
A lot of different options. Do you want to pick a Oakland guy first, Mitch?
My Oakland guy to break out. How about let's go with, there's a lot of choice. Tyrell Williams. Tyrell Williams in 2016
I like that pick.
Had over 1,000 receiving yards. I think a lot of concentration, a lot of effort is going to be on Antonmio Brown. Why not Tyrell Williams getting some love there? But we don't need to just hear from us. Comment below. Who do you think is going to break out in 2019? Is there an NFL player? Is there an AF player? Oh, wait, it's gone. Comment below, YouTube, Facebook, let us know.
I'd like to see him get more of a workload. How about Kerryon Johnson?
Oh, okay.
I like him a lot. Detroit wants to limit his workload, but if he gets featured back reps, I think he's going to produce really, really, really well. Now, there were medical concerns for me coming out. That's why he was a round 2 guy. But in terms of on-the-field play, we saw it for Detroit. He does a lot of things well for you. I felt the need to give Detroit fans some love since you always hate on them, too.
No, it's hard to like anything in Detroit. All right, Skyler Bertram. What are Devin White and Devin Bush's floors and ceilings? Who will be the better player in 3 years? Thank you for using #NFL. And then Kaylee Gonzalez says, good pick, Mitch. Or Callie Gonzalez. Thanks, brother. All right, Skyler, what do we got for him?
I think their upsides are actually pretty similar. They're both a little on the short side, but not on the, in terms of height, but not on the undersized side in terms of weight and arm length.
Okay.
So they're both really fantastic athletes. For Devin Bush, there are times where the production didn't match up. Like only 66 tackles, I think in part was because the entire Michigan defense was so good. But Devin White's got like 1 inch on Bush. And then in terms of testing, they're very, very similar. I quit laughing every time I say Bush. Get used to it.
You said 1 inch on Bush. What do you want me to do? They don't pay me enough not to laugh at that. Come on.
Fair. In terms of play style, your upside is, this isn't quite a par for par comp, but a Levante David type.
Okay.
I think Devin White might be a little bit able to be more of a true middle linebacker. Both will be best at the weak side spot where they run and chase and coverage well and make all kinds of tackles. Bush is a better blitzer.
I asked everybody on YouTube and on Facebook, who would you rather have, Bush or White? And judging by the comments, I'm going to say 90% people are going with Devin White, and it's reason he is our #1 linebacker.
I've got Devin White higher, but I don't think Bush is that far behind.
All right. King Keith, my dude. I also think this is also the same guy who just changed his name. How long do you think it'll take
Good
for the Raiders fans to get fed up with AB and all the drama?
Yeah, what you think, Mitch? Because he keeps throwing shade at Juju Smith-Schuster for like no reason.
Dude, it's actually funny that it's already this point. I had somebody slide in my DMs, and you guys can do that at Mitchell Renz 365. Somebody was already like, yo, we got to trade AB. And I'm like, guys, it just started. I'm hoping if the Raiders are winning, it'll be a fine thing.
Agreed.
As soon as they start losing, they do have the hardest schedule in the NFL. it's about to get crazy.
Yeah.